Hi, let's discuss about supervised learning and how in embedded machine learning and the different steps involved in achieve supervised learning. Basically, in supervised learning, the model is trained using labeled data. And training process, right, is guided by a supervisor in the form of labeled data set. Basically, whatever data you have read first, initially the data is trained, labeled, then trained. That is supervised learning. So it's a continuous process. So there are different steps involved in supervised learning. The first step is the data collection. Data collection is where you capture the data, right, in different aspects, whether it could be or by using some APIs. The next step is pre-processing. Is you need to prepare with some processors, right? And then the model selection. Then you have basically in model selection, right? You need to have an algorithm, right? Based on your use case, you will be defining the algorithm. Then you will have the training the model. So you need to predict, right? So based on the labels and the model evaluation. So the evaluation is a continuous process. So the model needs to be evaluated. Model tuning. So here, right, some of the parameters, right, we can change. Then in deployment, right, how the model is used in the real world, right, how it is deployed into different systems. Then you have monitoring and updating. So in some from the usage, right? Yeah, you get some inputs, then you can update the model. So these are the different steps involved. So basically, in data collection, you have the data set will be captured in input output pairs. In input, right? Based on which, right, you will make predictions. So output is nothing but your labels or targets, which are the answers, right, which is the model is supposed to predict. So in the first, right, we'll go to the data collection in detail, then go to data input processing, right. So these are the different steps, right, different types of data collection involved, right. So the first one is the manual collection. So basically in this, right, no, it's a human. You will be collecting data in the form of spreadsheets or Excel or forms or databases. This is data collection. Then you have the automated data collection. There are different aspects are there in data collection. So first one is a sensor or the IoT devices. Normally, in case of sensors or IoT devices, there will be data, right? Like it could be a temperature, motion, or camera, right? In real time. So you need to send the data to different sources. It could be database or a file, right? Then you have the web scraping. So you will have some website, right? You'll use some tools, right, to different capture large volumes of data. So example could be you can predict some product prices, right, from an e-commerce website. So that is a data volume. Then you have APIs. So you need to develop some APIs, right, to capture the data from external sources. Like you have different, so you can consider the example of a weather monitoring system. So you want to retrieve, right? Suppose you have a news feed, so you want to retrieve the weather, right, from different areas, right, and you need to have the fed into a news reader. So this sort of APIs we will develop will continuously be there reading the data. so that right the website will be updated will continuously with the weather changes. Then log are monitoring systems. So whatever logs you have, right, it will be some anomaly, right? So you need to capture the log continuously, and the monitoring systems, right, will detect some anomaly based on some use case. Then crowdsource data. So basically, right, from platforms like Amazon, right, you can have some sort of images or tests, right? We need to capture the data for training the data. Then your synthetic data generation. So this is kind of suppose that you are doing some research, right? You want some huge chunk of data. So then you need some algorithms or simulations, right? You can adapt capture some to develop some data, right? Using a specific algorithms. So for example, you got generative adversarial networks, right? Synthetic images for training deep learning models. So some images, right, you can generate. Like for example, particular city, right? You want to generate images, how the city is developed, is going to develop in future, right? Every year. So you can generate some synthetic messages. Then you have some tools required, right? There are some specific tools like there are some tools which are there for web scraping tools are there, scrappy, octopods, right? Then apis for data collection, like some weather forecast apis. Even you have twitter apis to retrieve the feeds. Then IoT platforms also APIs with respect to there are so many APIs where AWS IoT Code is also having some API. Even this crowdfunding platforms, right? Amazon Mechanical Truck. So this one also has some API, data collection and labeling tools. So this is a label box. These are some of the APIs. Data collection and labeling tools. These are some of the tools. So there's the data logging tools.